Noon, everybody. What is going on? It's already time for Kings basketball. Can you believe that? 4 o'clock here on the West Coast. Kings tip off at 4:30 against San Antonio Spurs. Kings, another in-season tournament game. So we'll see how they come out tonight. We've got everything all broken down for you. We'll get you ready for tip-off. National TV game tonight on ESPN. I'm Ryan in Sacktown. This is the pregame show on If You Don't Like That.
3, 2, 1, go.
Sacramento miscue. Carter. Stolen by Williams. And look at this. Oh, you don't like that. You don't like NBA basketball. Fox. Goodbye. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. The exclamation point from De'Aaron Fox. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
Boy, that's an ESPN highlight right there. Whoa. Carlson comes in. How about this? Holy moly, Jim Bob Foley. That was a major league smush.
All right, welcome in on this Friday. It's almost a getaway week, right? Got the Thanksgiving holiday coming up next week, which will be nice. Kings look to remain perfect in the in-season tournament West Group C standings. They're currently 1-0, Minnesota 2-0 in the group, so they are currently ahead of Sacramento because they've got one more win. But welcome in. I'm Ryan in Sacktown. Let's get some of your comments in here. Kings, look, they're riding the most momentum they've had all season so far. And to me, this feels like a trap game. It just has trap written all over it. You think back to last season and the Spurs coming into Sacramento in a game Sac should have won, would have clinched their spot in the playoffs, but they don't wrap it up on their home court. Anyways, I remember Jerry Reynolds saying that was one of the worst losses he had seen by the team all year, if not the worst loss of the year. But enough about last year. Let's talk about this year. Kings, same lineup, except for the same two guys that they will be missing. Trey Lyles still out with the calf injury. And then also Alex Len, he is out. He's going to be out for a while with the high ankle sprain. Man, the Kings have put together 2.5 great games of basketball. I say 2.5 great games because they've had a couple of quarters where, specifically the fourth quarter against the Lakers last game, that was not a good performance. I thought there was some bad decision making by guys that should know better, that should not be making bad decisions in that spot. But you know what? Tonight's a new slate. You got a San Antonio team 3-8 in the West. They're really struggling to get off their feet. I mean, you look at the statistical comparisons between this team and the Kings. I mean, it's not even close. The Kings are an 8.5 point favorite tonight to win the game. But you look at San Antonio, they're giving up they're the 30th team in the league in points allowed to their opponent. Scoring, they are only, they're not much better in scoring. In fact, they are 22nd in scoring points per game, only at 110. So, and then there's the wild card, Victor Wembanyama, Wemby. He is going to be the story of tonight. There's a couple things that worry me about this San Antonio team. I'll get to them in a second, but I certainly want to get to all of you who are here nice and early with us, just to kind of set the table for you. Obviously, we got the pregame going now here on If You Don't Like That. At halftime, Grant and Jerry Reynolds will be here. Jerry's been joining us almost every halftime. It's been quite an awesome little thing to have him here. I shouldn't say little thing, a big thing to have Jerry here most half times. And then Grant and I will wrap up the night here doing the post-game show on If You Don't Like That on Grant's YouTube page. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. That way you'll know when we are coming on. We would really appreciate it. Also, we've got a Pro Sports Fans watch party again tonight. You guys are absolutely killing it with downloading the Pro Sports Fans app. Every time we do a watch party, the viewership doubles. So thank you so much for those that have been there. If you haven't been there yet, go to the App Store or go to the Google Play Store and search Pro Sports Fans. The app will come up, download it, just set your credentials, choose the Kings, come into our chat room, and you will be there once the live stream starts. And then everything, though, still remains the same here on If You Don't Like That. So let's get to some of your comments. Sport, I'm just going to call you Sports Freak. I'm not even going to mess with the end of it because you always kick off the show lately with your comments. Contain Wemby should be a win for the Kings. Yes, it should. Happy to watch the post-game show while donating platelets, or the pregame show. Awesome. Thank you for donating, by the way. That is a really big deal, platelets. So go donate your blood, donate your platelets if you can. You never know who needs them or when you're going to need them. So good job by you. Good job by you. Sacramento fan, howdy. Howdy. What is happening? Sea-Dog, excited to watch Wemby for a full game. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of watching him a couple times this season for a full game, and it's flashes from him. There's times where it's like, dude, this guy could be completely unstoppable. And then there's flashes where it's like, he's a rookie. He's 7'4". He's still figuring out his NBA body. He can still be muscled around very easily. So you'll get a full-size sample tonight of him, and we'll be interested to see what you think. I'm looking up right now at the game and Wemby warming up. Gosh, San Antonio's floor is ugly for the in-season tournament. I know Grant doesn't care about that stuff, but that's just an eyesore to look at all game. Anyways, Albert, what is up, buddy? Thanks for being here. As always, my man Baki, always here from Serbia. Good evening to you, my friend. Dobro Utro. Looking forward to having you at the watch party. What up, Sacktown? Yes, indeed. Migs, appreciate you being here. Let's see. Got Ben coming in. I actually disagree. The Kings are very solid. Sabonis might break the twig in half in the paint. The Kings match up really well against the Spurs. Well, yeah, they do match up well against the Spurs, but here's what the Spurs have going for them. Watching them, I watched one of their full games today before coming on the air. They are actually very fundamentally sound. They play fundamental basketball, especially on the offensive end. If you don't close out right on this team, if you're not working the passing lanes, if you are not guarding the high side in the post, you're going to get beat backdoor. They absolutely know how to play team basketball because they really don't have that one guy that stands out. Wemby, certainly out of San Antonio's group, is the guy, but everybody else is pretty kind of solid. Their center, Collins, he is very good. He has shown some spurts for them. I think you're going to see him matched up on Sabonis a decent amount tonight, not as much as Wemby. But I think you're going to see Pop kind of mess with the Kings, more or less. He's going to try to throw them off their game offensively, whether it's throwing a double at certain people, whether it's maybe even dropping into his own defense. The Kings have to be careful here because the Spurs, their pace is terrible. They are last in the league at pace. Kings, they want to get up and run. We know that. We saw what the Kings did against the Lakers with their pace the other night. But tonight, the Kings have to make a point to rebound the ball. Do not allow second opportunities. You absolutely cannot. And they got to knock down shots. If the Kings knock down shots, then they are going to dictate the pace. San Antonio's not going to have a chance to slow the game down. So it's fine if you play a slow game if you're making shots, no problem whatsoever. So we'll see. I just, as a Kings fan, I've watched so much Kings basketball in my lifetime. This just feels like one of those games that they are going to struggle with. It's going to be that game in the third quarter where it's like, why are we Kings fans sometimes? They just torture us. Ultimately, I think they pull through, and I hope I am completely wrong. Come on the post-game show, blast me, make fun of me. I'm sure Napes will get his share of the action, but I don't see it tonight. The Kings are on the win streak. They've been playing so good. I mean, historically, it tells you there's going to be a letdown, and historically, it's been against teams that are not good. So we'll see. Again, I hope I am completely wrong tonight. Let's see. Sea-Dog, Kings have 4 straight. Kings have won 4. Spurs have lost 6 straight. Kings look to make it 5 in a row. Happy Friday, Carf. Appreciate you being here. Athena, what's up? That's so funny. There's only a couple people in this world that call me Rai Rai. So well done there. Well done. Let's see. I'm loving all these comments. I'm trying to kind of stay through them as quickly as I can. Herder, yeah. Oh, yeah. Herder needs to stay hot, especially when you're not getting great production out of your forwards. Or I shouldn't say from both forwards at the same time. So Herder, his game right now is rock solid, especially, and you have to give so much of that credit to Fox and Sabonis. I mean, Sabonis and Herder, when they are playing their best, they play off each other so well. And that happens when Fox is on the court because it changes the way the defenses have to guard everybody because Fox can get to the rim at any time. I mean, quite frankly, I feel like he has a speed that we still haven't seen yet. And he's already, just the road runner, just flashing by, change of speed, anything you want to get to the rim, he can do it. So I expect Herder to come out and play well. And this really should be a game. If you can come out and put your foot on the other team's throat, you can put your foot on the Lakers' throat, score 40 points in the first quarter or 39 points in the first quarter. You can do that to San Antonio. So I'm hoping this team's focused, and it seems like they are. I mean, they are really hitting they're hitting on all cylinders right now. Let's see, Ben, big thing about Wemby is against teams with bulk strength. His height is negated. Yeah, it's down low to a degree, Ben. If he gets there, so there's an area for Wemby down low where if he gets the ball, like it's right around the charge arc down in the key. If he gets the ball anywhere in that area, it's a score. He's just too big. I watched it all day today. I've watched his highlights this season. I've watched him playing overseas. He's just going to put the ball right in. It's literally just this for him. So in those situations, he's got the advantage with the height, regardless of your bulk or of your team's strength and bulk. But that's why you don't let him get into that area when he posts up. And that's what you're talking about right there. So I do agree there. You have to use that to your advantage. And Wemby's going to be good for, probably about 3 or 4 bad shots a game. He likes to pull really deep at times from behind the arc. The other thing with Wemby too, I haven't seen teams throw a double at him. Forget his size. He's a rookie in the NBA. Throw a double at him. Who else on San Antonio minus Zach Collins is going to hurt you? I mean, San Antonio, they've already got a few guys out tonight. They don't have that star next to Wemby. They have solid players, again, that all play very well off each other. You think about, like, for me, it reminds me of Air Force Academy when I was in college. Just if you took any one of those guys by themselves and played one-on-one, you were probably beating them, but you put the 5 of them together, it's a tough task to play against them because they're so fundamentally sound. They play well. And when they're hitting their shots, that changes everything. So again, pace has to be the key tonight for the Kings, and you can't let Wemby go crazy. So we all know that. Yeah, Sacramento fan. Yeah, Keegan, he needs to pick it up this game. He pulled such a terrible shot in the fourth quarter. Lakers are making a run there. And what's he do? He shoots a 3 right after Mike Brown yanks Malik Monk out of the game for the exact same thing. So it's things like that with Keegan. He's got to be better. He's got to recognize time and place with his shot selection, and he's got to find a way to continue to get himself involved. I've been very impressed with him defensively during the Kings win streak, but offensively, it's inconsistent. And Barnes, what have we said all along? He's producing outside of scoring in statistics that aren't always measured, but get captured in that plus minus statistic. But Barnes could be a guy that could have a very good game tonight. So who knows? I mean, literally the way the Kings are playing, the way they are scoring, there's no excuse for all 5 starters not being in double digits, none whatsoever. Let's see. Loving all the comments. Red is my color. Thank you, Athena. I wanted to go with the red because I think these are the unis that they're rocking for the in-season tournament. So we will see if it has any influence on how the Kings do. Probably not. Kings gonna beat Spurs. Yeah, they should. They absolutely should. Again, I hope you guys say I am out of my mind after the game and just make fun of me, because I've maintained I cannot quantify why I feel like the Kings are going to win this game. I really can't. But I just feel like that is what's going to happen tonight. Sorry, something happened with my mic there. Bear with me for a second. All right. Let's see. You're wrong, Rump. Kings dominating tonight. Yeah. Give it to me. Give it to me. I hope I am wrong. I'm just saying. I mean, Dog, back me up here. How many times last year did the Kings play terrible against teams that the Kings should dominate? It happens just so much. So I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But I'm skeptical. You have to at least say that's fair. So Ryan, thoughts on Wemby? I've kind of already given him. Yeah, no worries. He's big. He's got a skill set that most guys his size do not have. And when I say skill set that they don't have, I mean on the perimeter, able to really score from anywhere on the court. But he's raw. He's so raw. He's still learning the NBA game. And he doesn't have a lot around him to help him. So he has not done bad thus far this season, but he's been wildly inconsistent. So like I said earlier, I think you throw a double team at him once in a while, not because you need to, but fluster the kid. He's a rookie. That's going to go a long ways. It's something that he really hasn't seen too much of yet this year. Yeah, Kings have their confidence back. Yes, indeed. Don't forget, we are doing a watch party on the Pro Sports Fans app again tonight. Download the app if you haven't already. It's on Apple Store, Google Play. Just type in Pro Sports Fans. It'll come up. Just enter your email address, choose a username, and then choose the Kings as one of your preferred teams. Go in the chat room, start chatting with everybody. Baki's in there, Dorian's in there. So many people are in there. And we appreciate them showing up. And so we get their chats up, and then we're talking during the game. We're giving some commentary. Sometimes Grant will throw a call or two in there once in a while. And then you can also come up on camera with us as well, which is really cool. And if you don't want to come up on camera, you can do audio. And come kick it around with Grant and I for a few minutes. So check it out if you haven't already. We would really appreciate it. And you guys have been doing great. It's been doubling every time we do a watch party. So thank you so much for that. And then again, we will be back here for halftime. Jerry Reynolds, as always, and Grant, and then post game right here on If You Don't Like That. So nothing changes with these shows. We're just throwing in the PSF stuff as an added bonus. We're really happy for Sean Salisbury and his team with that app. And by the way, thank you for all your feedback too. We know that there's some glitches with the app and how it's working out. We have passed all that stuff along. I have passed all that stuff along to the IT team there at PSF, and they are working on it. They're doing a decent job on it. So just give it a little bit of patience, but you got Grant and I there, and you got your community there. So it's always fun to all be watching a game together. So check it out if you can. And speaking about checking things out, it is almost the weekend. It's perfect time to go check out Bennett's Westside Grill, their newest location in Rockland. Same Bennett's, same beautiful restaurant, same amazing food. Great menu as always. They've got a beautiful patio as well for days like this where you got a little bit of sun and a little bit of breeze. Go out there, have the redfish, grab a steak, grab a salad. They've got great sandwiches too. One thing I can promise you, you will not be disappointed by anything that you get on their menu. They've also got an awesome bar, over 60 glasses of wine, private dining rooms. If you're going to be having a party over the holidays, rent that out. They would be more than happy to accommodate you. But again, go check out Bennett's this weekend. They've got their prime rib special through the weekend. And then also they have their weekend brunch with a mimosa special. So Bennett's locations in Rockland, Roseville, and Howe and Fair Oaks. We appreciate all of you that... Ooh, look at that. Hit the wrong one. We appreciate all you that have been out to Bennett's, checked it out, and given us your feedback, given Brian and the staff out there, their feedback. So thank you very much. And we really appreciate it. So here we go. This is actually interesting. We're talking about Zach LaVine. So Zach LaVine looks like he is going to be traded. Chicago and his agent have both agreed that they are going to seek a trade. Zach LaVine is a guy that only a casual wants on this squad. Probably not a good fit for this team, especially because Kevin Huerter's kind of coming back around. And to be honest, what are you have to give up to get something. And you can't trade Harrison Barnes until after it's right around Christmas or right after Christmas because he signed this off season. There's some other guys like that as well. Trey Lyles, you would not be able to trade. So you don't really have any valuable pieces, and they would want a ransom for Zach LaVine. And I don't think that's the guy that takes this team over the edge. If you look at what the Kings are doing right now, the Kings very much are modeling what Denver has done. They're building this thing through the draft, a little bit of, trades and transactions, some free agents. I mean, the Kings have not, it's traditionally Sacramento does not land big free agents, but they're doing a great job of building it within for the most part. And, look at the Denver Nuggets. They were that Aaron Gordon away. The Denver Nuggets said, look, we go out and get that guy. We know that's going to make the difference because Denver, they weren't getting a ton of free agents either for the most part. They've done the same. They've drafted well. They've had a team that's stuck together and they've stuck with them. I mean, shoot, we were saying last year Mike Malone was on the hot seat if they didn't win a championship. So Zach LaVine is not Sacramento's Aaron Gordon, nor are the Kings at that point that Denver was at when they got that key acquisition. I still think the two positions that need to be addressed first are a 3-and-D, which, everybody says, but it is true. And also one that not a lot of people talk about, a solid veteran backup point guard. We've seen what's happened if Fox is not in the lineup. So that would be really advantageous for Sacramento to look that way. Liam, more McGee today to guard Wemby. Yeah. And Wemby, they're going to do a lot of switching on Wemby. So, everybody's going to be undersized on the perimeter against him. So you really you have to mitigate the matchups that San Antonio may solicit off of their plays and their pick and rolls. So you have to be mindful of that if you're going to be switching screens. But on the perimeter, there's no reason to send JaVale McGee up there. You can switch off to Keegan Murray. You can switch off to Harrison Barnes. Hell, you could maybe even switch off to Keon Ellis at times. And I'm not talking about that's how they're matching up, but that would be more advantageous for the Kings, in my opinion. So, Team Ryan Loud and Proud. Appreciate that, Jordan. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. You guys are the best. I really appreciate it. Alfred, where did you get the sweater? I know a guy. You guys will have to figure that out. But I appreciate it. I'm glad the sweater's getting some good reaction. See, you guys are calling me out, Jordan. First you say Team Ryan, and now you say not a trap game. I'm convinced it is. So again, what do I know? Everybody's saying the opposite, including Grant. So I just until the Kings show me differently, I've got to ride with that assumption, because it's always come down to the games like this. These are the games that separate the Kings between being a third seed in the West and over a 50-win team and flirting with that 2 seed, that 1 seed. These are the ones they have to have. Think about if they would have had games like this last year. That's 4, 5, 6 more wins, which takes them over the 50-win mark last year. So until they prove me differently and prove all of you right, I'm going to ride with my take that this one's going to be closer than we think. Let's see. Loving all of the predictions. So here's a good one. I'm predicting Fox and Monk poster on Wemby tonight. after he blocks one of them. Holy crap. If that were to happen tonight, that would be wild. I'm pretty sure Grant would come out of his seat for that one. It would be like, who was the king that dunked? Oh no, it wasn't a king. Somebody dunked over the other guy. You guys are going to help me out. It was back in the day. I can't believe I'm blanking on that right now. Yes, John, I did shave. It's the subject of the day every day. Did Ryan shave? Is his mustache crooked? So clean shaven. Coach Pop, yeah, he is something else. Coach Pop is a special person to the game of basketball. Let's just put it that way. I mean, you almost never hear a bad thing about that guy and how he coaches and how he goes to bat for his players, regardless of how he lights into them sometimes. And by the way, he seems dry personality wise on the court. Check out some of the stories of him off the court. One of the funniest guys ever. I know Grant shared his stories about when he traveled to Serbia. Pop was on that trip. I think, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, it was either Pop or Pager, maybe both of them on that trip. They got Grant to drink red wine for the first time, or to get Grant to like have an appreciation for red wine. So interesting there. So, all right. Yes, Bennett is the biz. Best in the biz. It's pretty dang good. Not gonna lie. And they do to go. Get some food to go. That's not a bad Friday night right there. Pro sports fans, yes, indeed. That is the application. Jordan saying the prime rib. Heck yeah. You guys are putting so many comments in here. I really appreciate it. Sorry, I am not getting to all of them. I'm not scared, yo. Rich, it's not a scared thing, my Aztec brother, and I appreciate you putting that. I'm actually going to be down your way pretty soon, Rich, so to catch up with you. But yeah, it's not a faith thing. It's just it's a facts thing. I mean, the Kings don't play well against teams that look at the Blazers game. And I know Fox was still out, but the Blazers had like half their starting lineup out. And they still almost beat the Kings in Sacramento. So I'm just saying, like, I got to keep my head on a swivel here. It's not a faith thing. I'm all in on this team, but I got to call it as I see it. You guys see it a different way, and I am totally cool with that. That is what makes basketball beautiful. That's what makes this Sacramento fan base beautiful. That's what makes these shows so fun. So really, really appreciate you guys being here. Dude, it's not about the Kings we grew up with. That's my point, man. Look at the Kings of last season. Look at the games the Kings lost last season on their home floor. I could start naming them off. Charlotte, terrible loss. Toronto, terrible loss. San Antonio, terrible loss. Those are the first three that come to mind. They had a myriad of those games last year that they easily should have won, and they did not. So it's not the same team. You're right, but it's this team still. I mean, this team ran it back, right? Right, Rooster? They ran this thing back. They made a couple of additions, but it's still the core of this team is still exactly the same. So again, come on. Give it to me. Just light me up at halftime if the Kings are up 25. Give it to me on Twitter. I don't care. Come on the Pro Sports Fans app or the Pro Sports Fan app. No, Pro Sports Fans. Excuse me. It's double plural. Come on there. Give it to me. Give it to me for being completely wrong and off base and not backing up my take with facts from this season. You guys are all in one camp, and I respect the hell out of that camp. I just got to go with my gut. So I definitely believe, though. And yes, you're right. They did grow in the offseason, Rooster. They did. They're growing up a little tighter. I love that Keegan stayed in town and got a lot of time with De'Aaron and his family, and kind of grew up a little bit off the court too in that way. So I'm with you, man. So we'll see. We will see. And they are riding a 4-game win streak. They look to make it 5 in a row. They look to go 2-0 in the in-season tournament. Shoot, that the finals of that, or the Vegas part of that, is going to be coming up pretty soon. It is the week after Thanksgiving, well, a week and a half after Thanksgiving. So the Kings are either going to have a second All-Star break, or if they keep winning these, what is it? It's Tuesday, Friday games. Then Tuesday, Friday. I think they keep winning the Tuesday, Friday games. They're going to be there in Vegas playing. So we'll see. So, all right. So just to go over it one more time really quick, we will be on the Pro Sports Fans app doing a watch party like we've done the last few games. Hop in there. Just download the application Pro Sports Fans on your phone, either through the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. Choose the Kings as one of your teams and enter the chat room. You'll see us come up live right around when the game starts. Also, nothing changes here on If You Don't Like That. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please give us a thumbs up. That's always good for the algorithm on YouTube. And Grant and Jerry will be right back here at halftime. And then Grant and I will be here wrapping the game up after the game. You got the A team tonight in San Antonio. Doris Burke, Mike Breen, Doc Rivers, calling the game for ESPN. So that will be fun. Dude, Jordan. Okay, I'm gonna end on this one. 8.5 lock of the century, Jordan. No. I think 8.5 is too much. I really do, but we'll see. We will see. But the first quarter is going to be the telltale sign of what this team does, because San Antonio, as long as you're not turning the ball over, does not have the firepower to come back. So, but I appreciate that that's the lock of the night. Maybe some of your fellow fans here will follow you on that. If you choose to gamble responsibly, please. Anyways, all right. We will be back at halftime here on If You Don't Like That. I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you so much, as always. Hop over to the Pro Sports Fans app if you have a few minutes. Join the watch party. It is free. We'd love to have you. And until then, we will see you right back here at halftime on If You Don't Like That with Grant and Jerry Reynolds. Go Kings. Blow them out. I'm with you guys. I want it to happen. Just don't think it's going to happen. But let's see. Blow them out. Go Kings. Light the beam. See you guys on the Pro Sports Fans app. And